Hey guys, it's Quinn. The YouTube algorithm totally ignores my videos sometimes, and you can really help out just by clicking the like button. Thanks guys. The matriarchal order, known as the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood, is one of the most powerful groups to ever exist in the Dune universe. For thousands of years, this organization of selectively bred and highly trained women maneuvers its way through the various political structures which rise and fall throughout the duration of the Dune Saga. As time changes, so does the motivation of the Bene Gesserit. Their pragmatism is in fact one of their greatest assets. The Bene Gesserit operated in block structure. The Mother Superior gave the commands, but each sister would only receive the information necessary to the task for which she was assigned. The Sisterhood had operated in this fashion for thousands of years, and only had made minor alterations to this structure. Its effectiveness had been tried and tested. Bene Gesserit divisions were cut by hard vertical and horizontal barriers, divided into isolated groups that converged to a single command, only here at the top. Duties for which read assigned roles were conducted within separated cells. Active participants within a cell did not know their contemporaries within other parallel cells. The Bene Gesserit schools were created during the events following the Machine Crusade, also known as the Butlerian Jihad, which freed mankind from human-led but machine-enforced slavery. The Bene Gesserit trained its students in psychology, history, science. They taught special techniques which provided sisters with almost superhuman abilities, such as their pranabindu techniques, which allowed them to control their body chemistry on a molecular level. Because of this, a trained sister was immune to most poisons, and if she so chose, could slow her own aging process down to a near halt, creating seeming immortality, though this was strictly forbidden by the Sisterhood. They also were taught a special kind of martial arts, known as the Weirding Way. In close quarters, the Weirding Way allowed the Bene Gesserit to maneuver their bodies with such speed and grace that it could be mistaken easily for teleportation. Certain Bene Gesserit sisters could also become truth-sayers. Because of the Bene Gesserit ability to read the most delicate of human minutiae, certain sisters can develop the ability to always be able to detect when a lie is told. If a sister of the Bene Gesserit reaches a certain level, then they may be allowed to take the truth-sayer drug and undergo the spice agony, which would awaken her full Bene Gesserit powers. She would become a Reverend Mother. The truth-sayer drug is deadly. If a sister can consume the drug and use her Bene Gesserit powers to nullify it, the agony of the ordeal will unlock her genetic memory. Her memories of her maternal ancestors. For some reason, no sisters were ever able to unlock the paternal half of these memories. Because of this fact, for many eons the Bene Gesserit plan centered around the creation of the Kwisatz Haderach. He would be a man who could be trained in the Bene Gesserit way, and tested as a Reverend Mother would be. If he could endure the spice agony, he would unlock both the maternal and the paternal sides of his ancestral memory. The Kwisatz Haderach would also be bred for prescience, so he would have the ability to predict future events, similar to guild navigators, but in a much more refined manner. Many men had been tested in the way of Reverend Mothers, but none had survived. Yet, there is a place where no truth-sayer can see. We are repelled by it, terrorized. It is said a man will come one day and find in the gift of the drug his inward eye. He will look where we cannot, into both feminine and masculine past. Your Kwisatz Haderach? Yes, the one who can be in many places at once, the Kwisatz Haderach. Many men have tried the drug, so many, but none has succeeded. They tried and failed? All of them? Oh no, she shook her head. They tried and died. For many generations, the Sisterhood had used the great houses to breed their Kwisatz Haderach into existence. All their previous attempts had failed, but with the Bene Gesserit Lady Jessica's joining to the House Atreides, they were closer than ever. Jessica had been instructed to bear only daughters to the Duke Leto Atreides. It was one of the many powers of the Bene Gesserit sisters to choose the sex of their child. The Bene Gesserit would then breed the Atreides' daughter to a Harkonnen son, the result would be the Kwisatz Haderach. But ultimately Jessica's love for the Duke would cause her to defy her sisterhood, and instead first conceive a son, Paul Atreides, and hoping that he could be the Kwisatz Haderach, she trained him in the Bene Gesserit way. Paul was eventually tested, and he proved to possess the powers of the foretold Bene Gesserit Kwisatz Haderach. But when he was called to serve the Sisterhood, he refused. If Jessica had obeyed the orders of her sisterhood, the heir of the Harkonnen and Atreides merging would have been subjected to precise Bene Gesserit conditioning. He would be a creature of the Sisterhood, easily maneuvered by them, or so they believed. But because of Jessica's disobedience, the Kwisatz Haderach was raised beyond Bene Gesserit control a generation too soon. Influenced by outside forces such as his Atreides morality and Mentat training, the Bene Gesserit had no power over Paul. You could argue that the Bene Gesserit mistake was believing that they would be able to control a being possessing such power in the first place. If a being has the power to see the possible futures of mankind, and therefore become the fulcrum by which the fate of the universe turns, then how can anyone ever hope to bring that being under its power? The Bene Gesserit also failed in assuming that an essential human instinct, the biological drive for intimate companionship, could be fully repressed. Jessica's love for the Duke Leto ultimately overcame all of her Bene Gesserit conditioning. It would have been wise of the Bene Gesserit to monitor this aspect of human nature among its students more effectively. The Bene Gesserit would never forget the actions of Lady Jessica, and they feared the creation of another Kwisatz Haderach, recognizing that the threat such a being possesses to the human universe is too great to risk. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more science fiction videos.